All right, so we are back. So if you are just joining us, I'm talking to my bro, Calvin Little Jr., about interfaith relationships and just the nuances of what it looks like and what it's like to be, you know, in those relationships, right? All of the things that you have to make them work, and even if they don't work, and how do you navigate those? So, welcome back. I'm excited. This has been a great conversation. We back.
We
We back.
back. We back.
Thank look, because you know Instagram do me so dirty, so dirty.
Yeah, they only allow an hour for, us regular folk. But they
They only
allow
allow an hour, and you first of all, I had to double check before we even got on here to make sure that they was gonna let me come on because I've been being shadow banned. But I digress.
tell Instagram stop hating.
They hating on all of us. If you guys don't know, as we are getting people to join back in, if you don't know, Instagram has changed their terms of service, so they are very suggestively putting us in a corner. Us, I mean by anyone who is a sex educator, sex positive personality, influencer, sex worker. They are saying that we are not contributing to the inclusive and non-bullying atmosphere and friendly content that they wish to have on Instagram. Now, I don't know how many of y'all follow me. So if y'all are Calvin's peeps that are on here, a lot of y'all are mutual friends. But y'all know I don't post anything derogatory. At least I don't think. No, I don't. I would take
No,
that one. I
you
don't.
just be promoting sex. And
I,
sex is a
but
good
you know
thing.
what? But be clear, I don't just promote any type of sex. I promote
Healthy
comprehensive
sex.
sexual, healthy sex. What you supposed to do? How you supposed to wear a condom, or why you should wear a condom, or I just promote, experiences that we've all had, or maybe we have not had, or maybe experiences that we wish we didn't have, because we know we got a lot of them. And there's nothing wrong with that
Prince.
because we have cities and states out here who they are abstinence only states, which means that they don't have any type of access to health care for STD checkups or access to condoms and things of that nature. And when we don't have those things, what happens? We got raging STIs. And guess who they're killing? People that look like us. But you know what? Because we are not the majority, it seems like nobody cares. Or those people out here
Listen,
who are
you could have a live on that by itself.
listen. I'm not even gonna I've been quiet. I've been being good. I have been being good. I'm in about maybe 7 or 8 different types of groups, and I love my sex positive people. And there's been people where I've met from all over the world in this short time that I have, like, you know what, I'm gonna be really serious about it, and I'm gonna put myself out there. But I just been quiet because I'm just in awe of everything that's going on. Like, there was not one post about the international, because it wasn't even national, the International Day Against Stopping Violence for Sex Workers. That was on the 10th. Not one thing. I attended this group Clubhouse thing, because now I'm on Clubhouse because that's a whole situation. But I
Which is
attended
wild.
that. It was a great conversation about all of the things that's going on, and I learned so much. Like, it was a learning platform for me. So I had learned about all the crazy rules that Chicago had. It was wild, but I could go on for days about that. So we're gonna hop back in. We have all of our people. Looks like they're back. So we were talking specifically about how do you navigate, and if you decide that you're gonna have kids with, your mate at the time, and y'all are practicing these different religious backgrounds and things of that nature, or y'all have different beliefs, how do y'all decide? And now, as you were talking, I thought to myself, like, what if y'all do all of this, right? So say it does work, and you decide. Someone said in the chat that they usually take the man of the house, and I posed the question that, well, what happens when you have a union of the same gender? So whose religion are they taking then, right? But then I also thought, what if y'all do all this work? Y'all didn't argue, y'all done had some disagreements, and then they decide, they meaning the children decide that they going to defy both of y'all and be something else when they grown. And when they like what? So you
What
done
you
did
gonna
all
do?
of this.
Like that's the decision that they make as grown functioning adults who think for themselves, that y'all raised them to be. They gonna make their own decisions when it comes to what religion they're gonna be. The only thing that you can do honestly is plant the seed. That's it. Like, you can't force them
That,
to follow or do certain things. I'm sure that once I got older and I had my little rebellion against the church phase, I'm sure my parents weren't happy with it. But at the
right.
same time, it's like they recognize that, he's got to go through his own growing process, and he has to um, take his lumps and bruises for himself, and he'll find his way, like
Right,
whatever that
right.
is. But you just, if y'all do all of that and y'all children decide to do something else, guess what?
Yeah.
That's just gonna be what it is.
There's
They'll
nothing
find
that you
their
can
way.
do. It's like, look, I
Not a
tried.
thing.
Listen, yes, I think if they are, I agree, sis. I think if they are a child of age, they should definitely have the element of choice, because what you don't want to do, and I feel like I was one of those kids, right? I didn't really have a choice. It was like, no, you're going to church and you're going to sit here. I literally remember going to church with my grandmother, and the only reason why I was excited is because she always had peppermints in her pocketbook all the time. All the time. So I was hyped because I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get eaten. And then it was
Not the
so back in the
peppermint
day.
candy.
Yes, she always had peppermints, and she always had like now laters. It was, and there used to be a store across the street from church. So we used to go in there and go ham on the candy. And that was
Those are the
how she
best times
kept
about
me.
going to church.
Listen, all the time. I used to be in, look, she'd be like, are you listening? Mm-hmm. Over there killing the candy.
Or when they give you
But
snacks in Sunday school, that
listen,
was good.
listen, trying to tell you. Because I was like, other than that, it's crazy. And I think for me, growing as an adult too, I've had multiple conversations with my dad, and a lot of the things that he preaches is always about what the Bible says. What the Bible says, and I be looking at him like, yo, are you serious right now? Like,
I mean, because people are good at quoting the Bible but not living it.
that part. And so,
And
and for me,
that's all I got to say about that one.
listen,
And I'm guilty of it
and
too. I'm
that,
not even gonna lie. Like, I'm guilty of doing the same thing. But it's like, again, it goes back to my original point. Christians aren't perfect people.
right.
So, like, I think Christians need to get over themselves and stop thinking for those this is a PSA to my super saved people, to my saints who
Yes,
ain't ever did nothing. I need y'all to get off your high horse. I need y'all to stop thinking that y'all have I just need you to get off your high horse. Okay?
right.
Because ain't
But you
nobody
know what?
perfect.
I don't think that is just Christians. I think anyone who is spiritual and whatever you believe in, somewhere in your makeup, you have, and I want to use the word brainwash, but I want to use it very loosely. You have brainwashed, or you've been brainwashed to believe that it's your way, it's right, and that's just what it is. And I think that when it comes to how we connect with other people, we don't know how to be wrong, so to speak, or we don't know how to really establish like, hey, you're entitled to your opinion,
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay.
Yeah, I agree. We don't know how to agree to disagree, because
We don't.
I think that's a crucial part in any good, functional, healthy relationship, whether it's romantic, friendship, or anything. Like we've been like friends and brother and sister for 10 freaking years. You didn't agree with everything I did. I didn't agree with
Hell
everything you
no.
did. But here we are 10 years later. You know what I'm saying? And like some
Hell
things we
no.
just agree to disagree on, and that's fine. You still my sister at the end of the day. And people don't know how to do that anymore because they think friendship is agreeing with everything that you do, and it's not. Like real friendship, you gonna get challenged. Like, yo, what if I'm
Mhm.
messing up? My friends are gonna call me out on it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
if I'm not thinking the right way, they're gonna call me out on it, and I would expect them to. But people have gotten soft these days, and they think friendship is just condoning everything that they do, and it's not.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I think taking it into the context, because we've been talking a lot about, the romantic aspect, but just talking about
Oh
friendships,
yeah.
we have plenty of friends that have come, that have gone, and that have stayed, who are either Christian or not Christian, or of different religious backgrounds. And I promise you, there's been times where I be looking at all of y'all, and I'm sure y'all look at me. Listen, we have one who I know for a fact is very much so a straight downright I'm Bible to the T. And when I revealed, like, hey, I'm going into sex work, they were like, what the, and they want nothing to do with me. But they want nothing to do with me in public. Because be clear,
Mm.
the little side eyes and the little winks and all of that, and oh, what's up, sis? You gonna let me know what's going on? And I'm like, hey yo, aren't you the same one that be condemning me in front of the whole, like, what's happening right now? But you in my DMs though. Hmm. I
That's a
see
topic
I
for a
see
different
you.
conversation.
Right. But
Bring me
I
bring me
bring
back
that up.
bring me back on season 2, and we can talk about the pastors and the
Right.
in the church folks sliding in the DMs.
Listen.
But we ain't gonna talk about that right now.
Listen, but I bring that up because I'm like, listen, you're fucking up, essentially, right? You're messing up this relationship that we have
Mm-hmm.
because you're one of those people who we've been friends for a decade, and here you are in light of everybody else because it sounds good, because you think that people are perceiving you one way, that you want to act this one way, but
Mm.
let's talk about what you do behind closed doors. And I'm that person. And if you know me, then you know for a fact, like, I'm that person. Oh no, we're not gonna talk about it behind closed doors. Oh no, we're gonna bring it on the table. Because if you do something, and there's been times I'm like, hey yo, Calvin, you did X, Y, Z, you like, damn, sis, like, no, because I'm not about to talk to you about it. And because if I can talk about it in front of our friends, and I'm also going to talk about it in front of them, but then I'm going to also talk to you
Mm-hmm.
one-on-one. So
Yeah.
I feel like there has to be that same energy that we carry in those situations have to come across when we're talking about these differences in opinion or beliefs and core values. And then you have to ask yourself, like, what are the core values? So, because I'm going to be honest with you, I have not met a single Christian that could say the core values of Christianity are, what are they?
Facts. And that you bring up a good point, because I wouldn't just limit it to Christians. I think a lot of people don't know why they believe what they believe.
Mm-hmm.
They just believe it because they're taught to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's not until it becomes personal to you, until you have a personal interaction and an encounter where you can say, okay, I'm not just doing this because um, my mom and dad told me to, or my friends told me to. I'm doing it because I have physical like evidence in my life that
Right.
God is real to me. And I have plenty of those moments. I could, if we've been honest, like it was one night where, um, again, I was like 23 years. I think I was 23, 24 or something, and I was like coming from this party, at Towson. It was a party in
Oh man.
what's those dorms by Shepherd
West
Prep?
Village,
Yeah,
the
no,
Common.
University Village. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I was coming from University Village, and I was drinking heavy and had the audacity to get in the car. And I blacked out in the car, but somehow I still made it home safely without getting pulled over, without getting in an accident or anything. I don't know how to this day, and I can
I
only
feel like
say
I
that
vaguely remember.
it was God who got me home, because I do not remember that drive home.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
where
agree.
I like
I feel like I've
I
had.
should have crashed. I should have been dead or in the
Mhm.
hospital or whatever. But
Yeah.
the only explanation for me is that was nothing but God. So you can't convince me that God is not real, because I've had my own encounters with God.
Right.
Like it's not like
But I think
a
that's the
thing that
thing,
mommy and
bro.
daddy taught
I think that's the thing. We've grown accustomed to. It's interesting because we pick and choose what we want to believe, right? We pick and choose the things that we want to go to bat for. So I think that there's been in a bunch of times, like last night, I feel like me driving from y'all home, I was like, I don't know how I made it either. and I
you. You
and
should
I
have
was
just
not
stayed put.
even. Listen, I was drinking and I was not drunk, but I had been driving. I literally drove all of like 16 hours yesterday in total. So I don't know, but and I was like, you know what, that was God, because I made it. I wasn't swerving. I wasn't doing nothing crazy. Like it was very much so that. But I think that people have come to this point, and I'm just talking in general. I'm not even talking about whether you're in a romantic relationship or not, that we are afraid of competition or we are afraid of disagreement, and that level
Mm-hmm.
of like, listen, I don't want no type of confrontation with you. But when you talk about the core value, so if I ask you, okay, you are a Buddhist, or okay,
Right.
you practice Judaism, what are your core values? And how can I, if you care about me, if you want to be with me, or even if we're going to be friends, how can I fill your cup?
Mm.
Right? And then once I fill your cup, at what point of that does the information or what I brought to you gets twisted and turned and made your own general magic? Because I feel like every individual is beautiful in their own right, and they bring something. So once
Mm.
you have concocted to whatever you need it to be and you pour it back into me, and it's just a little bit different than what it was that I poured into you, how do we make that match happen? And if you can't do that because you don't like that I disagree with you, or that we have a difference of opinion or experience, because some of it is based off of experience. Like I said earlier, I
Mm-hmm.
think that a lot of things that we go through when we talk about our religion is based off experience.
Yeah, because different people have had different experiences with different religions, and that either causes some people to be like completely turned off by it, or it causes them to like lean into it a little more and dig a little deeper to see, okay, what is this really about? What is
Right.
at the heart of what I believe? So
Mm, man.
yeah, experiences play a big role in how people, because a lot of people who, and I can only speak for Christianity because that I identify as, like, I am a Christian.
Right.
A lot of people who have a problem with Christianity and with the church has at some point in their lives been hurt by like Christians or church people.
Absolutely. I can attest to that. I'm one of those people. I'd be like, what huh? Huh?
So it, so and I completely understand why they feel the way they feel. But again, and I'm gonna keep harping on this, Christians are people first.
Mhm.
They're
But I
flawed, they
think,
hurt themselves, they have baggage. Now they should be held, because we believe what we believe. Um, we're under a microscope. I get that. I understand that.
mhm.
But Christians are people, and if there is this perception that Christians are perfect, I really, really, really think that needs to be let go, because that's not the truth. Like, the Christians are probably some of the most flawed people that you'll ever meet.
Right. But I wonder, because we keep coming back to this, and I think it's a very great point too, that we're not perfect. But I wonder how many other religions and beliefs have the same facade, right?
Yeah, I'd be curious about that too. Like
because
I would love to talk to like someone who's Muslim and faithfully practices, you know, Islam, to, I hope I said that right, to see, you know, what they, whether they have that same facade,
I
or
mean,
someone who practices like another. I'm not well versed in all religions, but
right, or even someone who is okay. Let's take it a step further. What if you atheist, right? And so that's a whole situation. Like, okay, you like forget it.
yeah,
I believe
and
that, right?
yeah.
Look,
Mm-hmm.
see, look, he came in at the right time. Hey, E, I ain't say nothing. I promise. I'm good.
I can't
Look.
see the comment, so I'm going off
Oh
your
man,
lead.
you can't see the comments. So
Nah.
E just came in. Thomas in here. There's a bunch of people in here. But no, they're agreeing with us. They said we have to really walk in and not just we have to walk in it and not just talk in it. It's a lifelong practice to push things, to do things righteously. Look, we already talked about righteous versus ratchet. Now that's coming back on season 2 as well. There's no reasonable explanation for something we know it was him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It says people don't care to meet another Christian that's actually striving. Yeah, so
Ooh.
but no, I definitely agree. I think that you make valid points. So in efforts for not holy hotties, I'm not messing with you. E, don't
Yeah,
start.
holy hotties. That needs to be a thing.
The holy hotties, biblical
Let's
baddies.
copyright that and make that a
Okay.
t-shirt.
Yes,
Holy
hotties.
hotties.
Oh man.
We about to copyright that. We going, whoever said that, I can't see the comments. Whoever said
That's
that,
your brother.
holla at me. Who?
That's
E?
yeah, you know it is.
Hey, E, let's get that copyrighted and let's start making t-shirts and sell them.
Listen, speaking of, while we at it, can y'all please pass the throne? Because I love being a queen, but
I'm married. My throne is over. I gave up. I'm out.
You can still let me. I'm about to pass it to Rona. You know what? Here you go, boo. The throne is now yours. I don't want it anymore. I'm good. But no. So
Look,
let's wrap it up on this conversation of interfaith relationships. Excuse me. I'm like interrelationships. That don't even make sense. But so what did you take out of this conversation? Let's start there. Let's start. What did you get from out of this conversation? And Rosebud, tell us in the chat what you guys got out of the conversation. What do you want us to tackle more? Because as I told you, this is the season finale, but season 2 is coming soon. So tell us, Kyle, what did you get out of it?
What I got out of this whole thing is, at the heart of everything, you have to communicate. You have to talk. Mm-hmm. That's the only way anything is going to work. Whether it's an interfaith relationship, if it's a same faith relationship, whatever kind of relationship it is, you got to talk. Mm-hmm. Nothing's gonna work unless communication takes place. And if you are the brave individual or individuals who choose to pursue an interfaith relationship, I just say approach it cautiously. Mm-hmm. And make sure that you're grounded in your own faith first.
Cool. Okay, look at you. All right, so I got that the first things first, you need to establish what your end goal is on both sides, right? So whether that be friendship or courting, you need to establish that. From there, once you have established that, let me rewind. Before you even get there, you need to also figure out who you are. You got to know who you are first and have that general sense of 100%. I know who I am. I understand my core values. I am willing to learn, to have like a breadth of knowledge, but I'm not necessarily willing to conform. And be solid and be able to communicate that. I also think that from this conversation, I got that it's okay not to know everything. And it's okay to disagree, but you have to be okay with knowing that if you disagree, that you must decide that if I'm going to disagree with you, that might come with more than, oh, it's just a disagreement, right? And what is your deal breaker? Is your deal breaker like, we're just going to agree to disagree and that's cool, and then we're going to talk about it and move on? Or is it like, no, I'm going to disagree, but then I'm also going to conform now because I want to make sure that both of us are happy?
Yeah.
Sometimes you may get into a friendship, relationship, or whatever, where unfortunately, because of your backgrounds and your beliefs, that you will be unequally yoked, but you have to be willing enough on both parties to be equipped to deal with that. And if you can't, then you might need to find some viable options. So those are the things that I got from it. But yes, I think this was an amazing conversation. This is why VOG needs to be in place. My brothers of greatness, because the other side of that needs to be retired.
Only.
But yes, I definitely think we have some final comments. I look at religion, just as you said, Jewish, believe in a God with no Messiah. But Jesus, yes. So if you guys were in here, shout out to Calvin, our holy hottie or biblical baddie, whichever way he wants to go by, brother.
I'll take the holy hottie.
Holy hottie. Thank you so much.
Does that make me? Can I? Never mind. I was gonna say, can I have a hot boy winter? But never mind.
See, there you go. There you go. but listen, you can have whatever you like. Listen, that's on you, right? But thank you so much. This has been a great conversation. I think that you hit it on the nail. As I knew that you would, I was like, ooh, this is good. This is good. But I must say, though, that when I thought of the topic, and even when I think of, my friends that are very much so strong in their faith, you pop in my head like automatically. I'm like, Calvin, right? Like soon as I start talking about faith, I'm like, I can name a good 5 of y'all who I just know. And so when I thought of this topic, I was like, yo, like I have to have Kyle come and talk about this, because I do think that it's important. And I appreciate that you are able to tap in a little bit into our history and your growth, because I think that when someone sees you, if they know you in 2011, like I knew you for real.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we got to 2015, it was like, whoa, wait a minute. And if they saw that and they see where you are now, and even the evolution of you in your post, right? The things that you used to post up until what you're posting today, one could be like, oh man, like he's a completely different person. But one thing I can say about you is that in your growth, you have still remained the same humble and open person. And I think that is the most beautiful thing that you can do. So I love you for that, bro. Oh my God.
Don't make me cry, man.
You're still sensitive as all hell, but hey. Oh
nah, I really appreciate that. Thank you. I enjoyed this. I definitely appreciate you having me on. I'm glad that we were able to chop it up over such like a controversial topic that people don't really want to talk about. But I'm glad that you brought it up, and I'm glad that you chose me to have this conversation with you. So yeah, thank you, sis. I love you.
I love you too. All right. So again, guys and girls and my rosebuds, as I like to call you, make sure that you guys follow Calvin Little Jr. on all social media platforms, as well as stream Journey Home. That is, listen, even though I just got to put this tidbit in just one last time for the public to know, I need you to
redo Sex Game. I know. You said
you have to
10,335 times. I know.
And we're going to keep going over it until you do it. Better yet, if you find it, if you find the original, send it to me, because I'm working on, I told you what I'm working on. So I will do something with it, and we can make it happen. That's all I ask, bro. I want that else.
All right.
But yeah,
I'm gonna make
so
I'm
make
gonna,
sure
I'm
you
gonna
guys
make that a
follow.
priority in 2021.
All right, I appreciate it. Y'all heard him. So when I go in and shout him out, make sure y'all know that he said that at the end of 2020, he said that he was gonna make it a priority. But no, once again, bro, thank you. It's been amazing. Rona, you have my brother's heart, and I'm so happy that he is happy, and the glow that I see on him is just beautiful. And I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. I'ma holler at you later. I appreciate you for coming on Sunday Snitchin'. And I will see
Thank you
you
for
soon.
having me. I
Of
will see you
course.
later. Love.
Rose, let's say bye to Calvin. All right. So, hey, y'all. This conversation was so dope. And at first, I was nervous to have certain conversations because, it is very controversial. And people definitely have their own opinions, but it was definitely enlightening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do want to coin that this is the final episode of season 1. It is a wrap. We are done with season 1 of Sunday Snitchin'. Thank you to all of those who have been riding with me since I started this. I appreciate it. Shout out to the Mystique team. You guys have been amazing, and I can't wait to see what ideas and stuff that we come up with for season 2. Please stay in the know and stay in tune with me. I'm asking everybody on here to please share this with your friends and family. Let them know what I'm talking about, the things that are going on. I want to coin to you guys to make sure that you are paying attention to my social media. As of right now, I'm still going to be available on Instagram, but more than likely, I'm going to be switching over to my entire, completely free of any outside social media platform, and I'll just be using everything strictly from my website. And the reason is because can't nobody shut my shit down because it's mine, right? I made it, I buy it. Who gonna check me, right? And because of Instagram's terms of service and Facebook and all of these different platforms out here that are, shadow banning and silencing and on this censorship kick, I think that it is important that I still continue to do the work. And I'm very much so grounded and willing to do the work and research because I don't know everything. So I am definitely going to be moving a lot of my content to Mystkue.com. Again, that's Mystque. And I'm telling you, season 2 is going to be fire. I have some announcements that I'm not going to divulge just yet because I'm not going to give you guys any early Christmas gifts because why would I do that? But as you know, Concoction is here. So if you haven't done so, go ahead and treat yourself. Treat me as, the artist and creative that you know me to be. And make sure you support. So visit me on Mystique.com. You can grab your Concoction hoodie. You can also grab yourself a Sensex Sin hoodie. And stay tuned. I can't wait to see you guys in season 2. Love you guys.